फिर 50% के आज तो सिर्फ इतने आगे ही होता है किसकी मैच है कल शायद से सीरियसली देखना कल दिया है कुछ शेड्यूल कल नहीं हाँ कल नहीं आज क्या है आज फ्राइडे चल दो क्यों क्योंकि वीकेंड से तो मैच कौन सी पता नहीं कल सीएसके का है 3 मैच होगी मतलब सीएसके के अगेंस्ट नहीं है शायद गोल ऑफ ये भाई तो फिर 3 मैच हो गए ये तीनों वर्सेस राहुल सर उनके मैच होने वाले देख रहा ये लेवन समझा क्या होगा यस ये होगी कल दो तीनों के वर्सेस राहुल सर के मैच होने वाले तीसरी मैच कौन थी इसलिए मैं बोला कि और तीन हम दो और तीन स्पंदन वो अच्छा जैसे स्पंदन स्कॉलर है स्पंदन को ऑर्डर की साथ लाइव मैच को दे रहे दो बताएं तो क्लियर्स लेकिन ये डरा मत भाई तो डरा बैठा बना मुझे लाइक मेरे को मालूम है क्या कंफ्यूज हो गई तो सर ने बैठा कर बोला था मैं वो माइटोसिस वगैरह वो सब कुछ लगे पता नहीं मेरे को माइटोसिस आएगा बाद में समझने ना तो भी बहुत अच्छी था वो लाइन में पर हटली थी ना ओके now we were discussing about that network contribution and its leadership. This is the last one. The last one. Is this the last what architecture architecture okay, now what is that? Nehru was against the philosophy advocated by the two power blocks. He rejected the communist state as monolithic. What is that? Monolithic, single rock. Lith means rock. So mono means single. So monolithic. He compared that. He compared communism with the monolithic. Okay. Now, and described Marxism as an outdated theory. Marxism propagated the communist theory that is what is that equality for the workers and all those theories. He told that is outdated theory because now in every constitution or democratic country, equality is written. Then why such kind of violence is required for a statute? So it is outdated. Then he did not favor capitalism either and was influenced by socialism. See, when there is a kind of choice given, he was against capitalism, but he favored this. Some kind of preference is there for socialist ideology. He therefore strongly advocated the principles of democratic socialism. His policy of non-alignment, however, was not meant to promote a third bloc. So he did not want to set up a third bloc against that first and second bloc. It was just an ideology. He did not want to make the countries group together as a third bloc. Getting or not? Yes. He was having principles. He was having ideologies, and his thinking is a particular line. That is, every country should have sovereignty, and this sovereignty to be protected. But he did not want to form a third bloc. Then, but to ensure freedom of decision making of the recently decolonized states. So it is to protect and preserve that newly found freedom. That was his aim. Getting or not? Here, more imagination is required because many countries were just becoming independent and tried to become independent. So their country's condition is not safe in economic front, not come out from the exploitation, and they did not develop their own systems. That is why I compared that stage to an infant. Understood? So that condition, the integrity to be preserved was the main aim. Thus, under the stewardship of Nehru, India played an important role in spreading the message of now. Stewardship means that leadership, one who guide and lead. India promoted the cause of freedom of many countries of Asia and Africa, which was still under the foreign domination. Nehru was against the policy of apartheid being followed in South Africa. That you are knowing, no? What is apartheid? It is a policy of racial segregation. Means whites were the minority. They were the people who came from Europe and settled at the tip of South Africa. And they started ruling the black majority. So separated. See, there were roads separate for that. In India, untouchability how it was practiced in that. So, and there is a third group. They were called colored people. Asian migrants are called colored people. So this kind of racial segregation which were followed as apartheid. Okay. India promoted the cause of freedom of many countries of Asia and Africa, which was still under the foreign domination. Nehru was against the policy of apartheid being followed in South Africa. That is why India sponsored a resolution in UN in 1962, calling upon the member nations to take diplomatic and economic steps against South Africa to force her to give up the policy of racial discrimination. In UN, under the leadership of India, they made a resolution that economic action or diplomatic action to be taken against South Africa so that they will stop this policy of discrimination. Got it? Nehru was against the man race for armaments and called for disarmament and abolition of stockpiles of nuclear weapons. It was in pursuance of his policy of disarmament that India signed a treaty in 1963 for banning atomic tests. We know that afterwards only India tested atom bombs or nuclear bombs. Understood? But in 1963, under the leadership of this Pandit Nehru, there was a resolution passed and a ban on atomic test was made. So which year? 1963. What all were the efforts made by Nehru? You have to study. Okay. More than 5 decades after Nehru's death, India still continues to follow the path of non-aligned movement, and its objectives as placed by the founding fathers themselves. Now, we will go about what are the achievements of non-aligned movement. Non-aligned movement has been pursued by more than half of the world for over 5 decades. Understood? The countries which were not the part of US bloc and the USSR bloc become the members of non-aligned movement. The number of participating countries also increased each time from 25 in 1961 to 120 in 2012. So that means this non-aligned movement have wide support. Whereas in the US bloc or NATO or CETO, two of them find it out. NATO is still there. So NATO is having the membership of hardly 10 countries. You see the membership of non-aligned movement. So this it is there, but not that way active participation is. The Asian and African countries regularly attended the NAM summits. Some Latin American nations joined the NAM, whereas some European countries like Austria, Finland, Sweden attended NAM summits as observers. NAM has a number of achievements to its credit. Some of these include the following. NAM has helped in easing the tension between the two power blocs and ultimately in bringing about the end of Cold War. Because of its effort only, Cold War came to an end. Now, NAM acted against the arms race of the superpowers during the Cold War. Yes. NAM has supported the cause of international peace, justice, and freedom. NAM has advocated new international economic order based on greater economic cooperation and justice. In fact, the first UN Conference on Trade and Development held in 1964 was largely the outcome of the efforts made by the non-aligned countries. NAM has made the developed countries realize that continued deprivation of the third world would affect the economy of the world and their own prosperity. So they were following that the superpowers or the power blocks or developed countries were following a policy of control, economic control, extracting the resources. So that would not help the development of the world. This realization was made due to the efforts of non-aligned. Got it? They were made to understand if they continue to follow such policy, because each country have the freedom to develop its resources. So nobody has the right to suppress it. So that is what they have propagated. Now, future of NAM, that also we'll see. Today, NAM stands as a broader objective of international peace as well as independence of foreign policy of each sovereign state. Though NAM has virtually lost its political relevance, see, at present its importance has reduced because all the countries become independent. So there was no need to support and help that countries to fight against. Independent countries still participate. Next is that each country is developing economically by its own way. So in that case also support is not that much. So that is why its importance have reduced. Then virtually lost its political relevance. It continues to be an effective forum for seeking economic justice. We could not do anything when two of its own member states, Iran and Iraq, were engaged in a prolonged conflict. Similarly, it could not do much when Afghanistan was invaded by Soviet Union in 1979, or Iraq was invaded by US-led coalition forces in 2003. It was not able to take action because it was not an organization like the UN. Understood? It was just helping the countries to become economically self-sufficient and to fight against the colonial power to get its independence. So when the attack came from other countries, other sides, it would not act. With the emergence of neo-colonialism, NAM has become all the more relevant. Many small and big countries are unable to preserve their sovereignty in economic field because of the interference of international financial institutions like World Bank, IMF, and World Trade Organization, which try to impose their decisions on them. This is a grave challenge to the process of democracy in these countries, and for which NAM can come forward and counteract these laws. So because this part you are not having any idea in your syllabus, it is not there. That is present day of globalization. Have you heard about globalization? The economic making that world market chain. So that is what. In that time, some countries who were very poor cannot compete with the other countries. You imagine a small country, a small African country. It is not economically self-sufficient. How it can compete with American products? Understood. So in that case, globalization is like that. So we are able to compete. So in that case, World Trade Organization is imposing restrictions. So this kind of organization, NAM or like that, this organization can fight for the rights. That is, okay, relax some rules, that must be. Because India is also facing the problem because of the World Trade Organization. Though it has lot of advantages, it has disadvantages also. So that is why that present day some kind of significance is there. The USA has emerged as the sole superpower in the world and has been dictating its own terms and was evident during the unilateral action in Afghanistan and Iraq. It is here that NAM could utilize its vast expertise gained over the years to prevent US domination. This is the area that NAM should interfere, but it was not interfering. Hence, NAM is still continues to be positive, dynamic, and constructive movement aimed at achieving universal peace, disarmament, and development. Okay. Now we will see some of that, how it is formed and who will do? Okay. Just it's gone. Loan and the
Computer student.
Something happened. I don't know what happened.
Amen.
Computer student.
I think you let
की बात नहीं है नहीं कंप्यूटर
ऐसे दुबारा ऑफ हो गया।
तू तो कंप्यूटर नहीं करता उसको थोड़ा पीछे थोड़ा सा पीछे की तरफ कुछ करो
और कुछ बोलते हैं। अच्छा देखने के लिए।
थोड़ा सा हाँ बस बस
इतना ही आएगा और
थोड़ा
कितना
सा
And you come here. You take.
ये तो
Non-aligned movement is supervision. Also on the side of that. Yeah, but
क्या है यहाँ पे
you take
कौन सा हाँ आ गया क्लास 10 ICSE कौन सा
Sir, the history.
ये
History is history के लास्ट चैप्टर नाम किसका